I just got back from the Fantastic Four movie, and I'm a little angry. Not because the movie was bad, but because the movie was good. And I'm not angry at the movie. I'm angry at the vast amount of people that are doing nothing but bitching and complaining about how horrible this movie is. Is there some great internet wizard that comes down from high and immediately says, oh, this movie is good, this movie bad? Because months before this movie even came out, it was getting shit. And I was kind of goofing on it a little bit. The only thing I didn't really like was that they decided to do a thing where you change a letter to a number. So they had the Fanforstic 4. But aside from that, I had no issues with it. I don't subscribe to that shit. Well, all these people said it's bad, so obviously it's bad, and I have to agree. No. If I enjoyed something, I'm not going to say that I didn't enjoy it just because everyone else is saying that. Yes, there are bad movies that come out. Movies like Disaster Movie or a lot of the other blank movies that have come out over the past couple years. They're really awful spoof movies. Or something like Battlefield Earth that tried to be high concept but ended up being so bad that it really was hard to even enjoy it on a laughable scale. Fantastic Four was not a bad movie. I know the director just came out tonight and said that the studio trashed his film, and I don't doubt that. I've seen numerous times where a studio will cut the film way shorter just to kind of get it out the door. And yes, I'd love to see his director's cut, but the theatrical cut was still good. Hey, I enjoyed it more than Ant-Man. Oh my God, I enjoyed a Fox movie more than a Disney Marvel film. Ugh, blasphemy. And I'm not some kind of anti-Marvel fanboy. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I loved Captain America, the Winter Soldier. But for this, I liked what they were doing. I liked how they were doing something much more dark. And, oh, that's the kiss of death when you say dark, because they go, oh, not every movie has to be Batman. Well, I'm not talking dark like that, but I'm saying it just felt a little bit more mature, I guess you could say. As far as tone, no, it wasn't as dark as like the Dark Knight movies. It felt a little bit more in line with First Class and Days of Future Past. It had kind of that vibe, which made sense because Fox is trying to incorporate the Fantastic Four into that universe that they're building with the X-Men and now the Fantastic Four. And I know they were trying to do it with Spider-Man, but it didn't pan out. And now Spider-Man is going over to Marvel, but he's still going to kind of be with Fox. I don't know how all that's going to end up, but that's beside the point. I'm going to do my best to kind of remain spoiler-free on this. Let's see, what did I like about it? Right out of the gate, I liked that they had character development. I liked how they took the basic concept for the comic book, but went in a different direction with it. They didn't do the flying out in outer space and got hit by cosmic rays and all that. They went to an alternate dimension. And that was cool, because the thing was, if you count the Roger Corman film, they did the cosmic ray thing twice already. So this time, they decided to do it a little bit differently. And I don't have a problem with that. They didn't change any character formulas. They still kept them the way they were. Reed and Susan were the brains. You had Johnny, who was the hothead. And you had the Thing, who was kind of your everyday musclehead. I was happy to see Kate Mara on the big screen. I actually like her work a lot. I think that she is infinitely better than her overrated sister, Rooney Mara. I was wondering the other day why they didn't show Reed's stretching in the trailers. And I was actually really surprised because when they did show it, I loved it. I thought it looked much better than the 2005 one. And I would hope so, being as that it's been a decade since the 2005 one, and computer graphics have come a long way since then. But the way that they showed him stretching, and then when he was fighting with Dr. Doom, I thought that was awesome. I thought it was great. The Thing looked cool. I don't see what everybody was bitching about, saying that it looked like graphics from a PS1 game. Reg E. Cathy, I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not. He was the guy who played Dr. Storm. He was outstanding. He gave a great performance as somebody who was shepherding these kids and helping them to realize their full potential. I liked him a lot. The other thing that really stuck out to me was how much this did not feel like a PG-13 movie. When Dr. Doom escapes for the first time and he's walking down the halls of this facility, there's guards and whatnot trying to stop him, and he's popping their heads scanner style. Now, they didn't glorify it or keep it on screen for very long after the person's head exploded, but the fact that they were willing to do that at all was shocking. in a good way. To be fair, yes, there were things that I didn't like about it. I thought that Jamie Bell's voice went through the old Batman filter for the Thing. I don't know, I didn't really feel his character too much after he became the Thing. I didn't like Johnny Storm's flame effects. I actually thought that the 2005 version did it better. I liked Michael B. Jordan playing Johnny Storm. I'm not really familiar with the actor, but I thought he did a good job in the role. I don't know, the flames just, it didn't quite look right. It might just be my CGI filter being nitpicky. Speaking of the CGI filter, the CGI monkey looked kind of fake. The monkey was only there for a couple minutes. They probably could have just gotten a real monkey. At 90 minutes, it did feel like it moved a little fast, but apparently that was due to the studio and there is a director's cut. Probably the biggest thing I didn't like about it was that people were complaining about how there wasn't enough action. While yes, this did feel like just the origin story, and I don't necessarily fault them for that. The movie didn't really feel like there would be a time where there would be another big action sequence. They developed their friendships, they designed the teleportation thing, they got their powers, there was some stuff that happens, I don't want to spoil it, but then it led to a big action sequence in the end, and then a resolution that set up the sequels. So yes, this was very much part one. There were a couple of smaller action sequences in there. They were very brief, but they were cool, especially when we got to see Reed fighting for the first time. I don't know, this just really got under my skin. An 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm not talking like a movie like Catwoman, where Catwoman was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it on the level that you would enjoy The Room. I thought that it was funny, and it was completely unintentionally funny. But this, getting an 8%, seriously, people, it's not a bad movie at all. I had a lot of fun with it. I heard a lot of audience members laughing at the right times, but when everyone was walking out, I heard a few people that openly admitted that they came in hoping that the movie would suck. Why would you go see the movie then? If you go in with the intention of hating something, guess what? You're gonna hate it. You're gonna find a reason to hate it. I went in neutral on this. There was a lot of people bitching about it, but it looked interesting to me, and I decided to give it a chance, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought this was a cool movie and a cool setup for future films, but who knows? Now that the internet hate machine has taken hold of this, we're probably not going to get parts 2 and 3. And that sucks, because I thought that they did a good job of doing a part 1 and setting things up, and now they're not going to be able to continue with that. Best I can say is go in with an open mind. Don't expect a non-stop thrill ride of a movie. Expect a little bit more of a slow burn superhero movie. A movie that takes the time to develop its characters, to have them build friendships, and then get their powers. Overall, I like the movie. I'm glad I saw it in theaters. And I'm standing firm on this one. I know everyone's been tweeting me about how every YouTuber hates this movie and how the critics have all bashed this movie. But I'm in the other corner. Sorry. This was a good movie. And the ever-popular question of what game am I playing? I'm playing the Fantastic Four game for the PS2, which was based off the first movie. I can't really say if this is good or bad, because this is actually the first time I'm playing it. But so far, it's kind of a fun little beat 'em up. That's all I got for now. I'll see you next time.